What if I told you that 90% of your anxiety, stress, and self-doubt comes from one simple thing? Not your job, not your past, not your relationships, but your thoughts. Even more shocking, they're often lies. In this video, we're diving deep into Don't Believe Everything You Think by Joseph Nguyen, a short but powerful book that reveals how to break free from the prison of your mind and rediscover the peace that's been within you all along. We live in a world that worships thinking. We're told to figure it out, analyze the problem, and control the situation. But what if that constant thinking is the very reason you feel overwhelmed, stuck, or broken? Joseph Nguyen's Don't Believe Everything You Think flips the script. It says your suffering doesn't come from what's happening to you. It comes from believing thoughts that simply aren't true. In this video, we'll unpack the key ideas of the book. Why your thoughts are not the truth. How to detach from mental noise. The illusion of the self. And how to reconnect with your natural state of peace. Let's begin with the root of it all, the real cause of suffering. The source of suffering. Misunderstanding. Thought. The book opens by examining the universal human experience of suffering. Nguyen asserts that while pain is inevitable in life, suffering is optional and mostly arises from the mind. We are conditioned to believe our thoughts without question, assuming that if a thought arises, it must be true or important. This leads to cycles of anxiety, depression, self-doubt, and insecurity. Nguyen identifies the root of suffering as the misunderstanding of thought. We mistake thoughts for reality. Thoughts are just mental events, not objective facts. We identify with our thoughts, believing they define who we are. We try to control or suppress negative thoughts, which paradoxically gives them more power. The first step to liberation is to recognize that thoughts are not facts. They are like clouds passing through the sky of consciousness, impermanent, insubstantial, and not a reflection of our true self. The illusion of control. A major theme in the book is the futility of trying to control our thoughts, emotions, or even external circumstances to achieve happiness. Nguyen shares that most people believe happiness is a result of controlling life so that it matches our preferences. We think, once I get the job partner or circumstances I want, then I'll be happy. Or we try to manage our internal world. If I can just stop thinking negatively, I'll find peace. However, this approach is doomed to fail. Life is inherently uncertain and uncontrollable. Our minds produce thousands of thoughts daily. Trying to control them is like trying to stop the wind. Nguyen suggests that peace comes not from control, but from acceptance and understanding. When we stop fighting our thoughts and emotions and simply allow them to be, we begin to experience a natural sense of ease, the true nature of thought. Nguyen explores what thoughts really are. He explains that thoughts are automatic, neutral mental events. They arise spontaneously, shaped by past experiences, memories, and conditioning. Most thoughts are repetitive and habitual, echoing old patterns. Importantly, thoughts only have power if we believe and engage with them. If we see a thought as just a thought, it loses its grip on us. But if we invest in it, especially negative or fear-based thoughts, it can trigger strong emotions and behaviors. Nguyen introduces the idea of the thinker and the observer. The thinker is the habitual automatic mind that generates thoughts. The observer is our deeper awareness, the part of us that can notice thoughts without becoming entangled in them. By shifting from the thinker to the observer, we gain perspective and freedom. The trap of identification. A core source of suffering is identification with thought. Nguyen explains that when we believe, "I am my thoughts," we become prisoners of our mental patterns. For example, if a thought arises, "I'm not good enough," and we believe it, we feel shame or inadequacy, even though the thought is just a passing idea. Nguyen encourages us to notice the space between awareness and thought. We are not the content of our minds, we are the consciousness in which thoughts arise. This insight is both liberating and empowering. He offers practices for disidentifying from thoughts. Mindful observation. Watch thoughts as they arise without judgment or engagement, naming the process. When a difficult thought appears, label it as thinking, not as truth. Returning to presence. Use the breath or body sensations to anchor yourself in the present moment. The role of feelings and emotions. Nguyen explores the relationship between thoughts and emotions. Our feelings are not random. In most cases, they are direct responses to the thoughts we believe. When we believe a fearful thought, we feel anxiety. When we believe a self-critical thought, we feel guilt or shame. This understanding is crucial because it means our emotions are not direct reflections of reality, but of our mental interpretation. Nguyen invites us to feel our feelings fully without judgment or resistance. Emotions are energy in motion. When we allow them to flow naturally, they pass through us. However, if we resist, suppress, or analyze them excessively, they linger or intensify. The key is allowing and witnessing. Let emotions arise, feel them in the body, and notice what thoughts are fueling them. This process breaks the cycle of reactivity. The present moment, gateway to peace. A recurring theme is the power of presence. Nguyen asserts that all suffering arises from living in the past or future, regretting, ruminating, worrying, or anticipating. The present moment, by contrast, is always free of problems. Nguyen draws on mindfulness teachings, suggesting that peace and clarity are found only in the now. We cannot change the past, and the future is unknown. The only place we can experience life is right here, right now. He recommends mindfulness practices such as bringing attention to the breath or bodily sensations, noticing sights, sounds, and smells in your environment, gently returning to the present whenever the mind wanders. Over time, the habit of presence dissolves the power of compulsive thinking. We discover a natural, effortless peace that is always available, letting go of the need for certainty. Beings crave certainty and control. We want to know what will happen, to feel safe and prepared. Nguyen argues that this desire is another source of suffering. Life is unpredictable, and seeking certainty is futile. He suggests that true freedom comes from embracing uncertainty. When we let go of the need to know or control outcomes, we relax into the flow of life. This is not resignation, but trust. Trust in our capacity to respond to whatever arises and trust in the intelligence of life itself. Letting go can be practiced by noticing when you're seeking reassurance or control, allowing yourself to sit with uncertainty without trying to resolve it, trusting that you can handle whatever comes. The illusion of self. Nguyen touches on the illusion of the separate self. Most people believe they are a distinct, isolated entity, a me with a personal history, beliefs, and preferences. This sense of separation fuels fear, defensiveness, and competition. He points out that at the deepest level, the self is a mental construct, a collection of thoughts, memories, and labels. Our true nature is the awareness in which all experiences arise. This insight is echoed in many wisdom traditions, from Buddhism to Advaita Vedanta. Realizing that the self is not fixed or separate opens us to a sense of connection, compassion, and peace. We become less attached to defending our ego and more open to others and to life. Freedom from the past. Many people are haunted by their past, regrets, mistakes, traumas, or missed opportunities. And Nguyen explains that the past only exists as a thought in the present moment. When we dwell on the past, we are simply thinking about it now. Healing does not require changing the past, but changing our relationship to the thoughts and stories we tell about it. By recognizing that the past is not who we are, we can release guilt and shame and make space for growth and renewal. Nguyen encourages forgiveness, not just of others, but of ourselves. Forgiveness is not condoning harmful actions, but freeing ourselves from the burden of resentment and self-blame. The power of acceptance. Central to the book is the practice of acceptance. Nguyen distinguishes between passive resignation and active acceptance. Acceptance means allowing things to be as they are without resistance or judgment. This includes accepting our thoughts, emotions, circumstances, and even our desire for things to be different. Acceptance does not mean we never take action to improve our lives. Instead, it means acting from a place of clarity and peace, rather than reactivity or resistance. Nguyen offers these steps for practicing acceptance. 1. Notice resistance. Where in your life are you fighting reality? 2. Allow what is. Let go of the struggle to change things in this moment. 3. Act if needed. From a place of acceptance, choose wise action if appropriate. Practical tools and exercises. Throughout the book, Nguyen shares practical exercises for cultivating awareness and freedom from thought. Thought labeling. When noticing a thought, simply say to yourself, thinking. This breaks identification and helps you observe thoughts without engagement. Body scan. Bring attention to physical sensations, especially when feeling anxious or upset. This grounds you in the present. Curiosity. Practice. When a negative thought appears, ask, is this true? Is this helpful? Often you'll find that it's just an old pattern, not reality. Gratitude. Focus on what is going well in your life rather than obsessing over problems. Loving kindness. Offer compassion to yourself and others, especially when experiencing difficult emotions. Living with greater ease and joy. The ultimate promise of Nguyen's book is that it is possible to live with greater ease, joy, and freedom, regardless of external circumstances. This does not mean life will always be pleasant or free of difficulty, but that our relationship to suffering changes. By loosening the grip of thought, embracing presence, and accepting life as it is, we discover a deeper well of peace within ourselves. Nguyen emphasizes that this is available to anyone, right now, regardless of background or history. The journey is the destination. Nguyen closes by reminding readers that this is a lifelong journey. The mind's habits are deeply ingrained, and it's normal to fall back into old patterns. The key is gentle persistence, a commitment to noticing, returning to presence, and choosing acceptance over resistance. He encourages readers to be kind to themselves. Growth is not linear, and every moment offers a new opportunity to begin again. Don't believe. Everything You Think is a concise yet powerful book that distills wisdom from mindfulness, psychology, and spiritual traditions into practical guidance for daily life. Its central message is both challenging and liberating. You are not your thoughts, and you don't have to believe them. By stepping back from the mind's constant chatter, you open yourself to a life of greater peace, clarity, and joy. Nguyen offers not just theory, but a pathway to real transformation. Through awareness, acceptance, and presence, we can break free from unnecessary suffering and discover our true nature, one that is inherently whole, peaceful, and free. Don't believe everything you think is more than a book. It's a mirror. It shows you that the voice in your head isn't always right. That peace doesn't come from doing more or fixing yourself. It comes from letting go of thoughts, letting go of stories, letting go of fear. The real you, it's not the anxious mind, not the judgment, not the overthinking. It's the stillness behind it all. You've always been whole. You've just forgotten. If this message spoke to you, like the video to support the channel and subscribe for more deep book insights that can truly shift your life. In the comments, let me know. What's one thought you've decided to stop believing today? And remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them.